Welcome to another episode of the Metal Roundup, where we can catch up on what's been happening in the metal music scene. And today we have a very special guest in genuinely one of the best live vocalists in the metal scene today, Anthony Diliberto from Resolve. Welcome, sir.
Woo!
How are you doing?
Hello,
Welcome,
thanks
sir.
for having me. I'm fine. Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming
Oh,
on.
pleasure.
Yes, thank you for coming, sir. Big fan,
Pleasure.
big fan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. You've been releasing. I've been listening to Resolve for a couple of years now, and you've been releasing some singles recently as part of your extended Human album, which have all been heaters, by the way. What is coming up for yourselves in the near future that you're looking forward to, in particular for Resolve?
This year is going to be touring mostly, and obviously we're going to work on new stuff. But I'm not sure we're going to release new music this year because we have a lot of tours, and it's going to be really hard for us to produce and release stuff while touring that much.
Yeah, of course.
But who knows? Maybe we'll find some time. I don't know yet.
Yeah, you do seem quite busy on the tour. You've just done a big slog with While She Sleeps.
Yeah.
This looked pretty exciting. And then you've got Make Them Suffer coming up as well. You got to be hyped about that. That's going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But first, we're going to Australia in March with Era and Silent Planet.
Nice.
Sick.
And so tomorrow morning, I have to wake up really early because I have to go to Paris. I don't live in Paris at all. So we can just do a really short interview, like 5 minutes, just to be able to go to Australia.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah. Papers.
I gotta say, Anthony, I seen you guys play in Dublin recently at the Dublin show in Ireland with Currents, and I had never seen you guys before, and I was blown away. I was honestly there for, like, I've been a big Currents fan for a couple of years now, and I'd listened to your music, I'd listened to Human, and I really enjoyed it, but blown away. I think you guys were the best band, and I'm not even just saying that. I'd said that to like people in my Discord and stuff before, that you guys, the stage presence was absolutely unbelievable. So I just want to get that out of the way as well. So you proper made me a fan when I seen you guys live. So well done.
Thank you very much. Dublin was really special because we did 1 month and a half with While She Sleeps as opener.
Yeah.
And it's completely different. In Dublin, we were direct support, and we didn't expect that much interactions with the crowd.
Yeah,
it was a really good show, and I think we're coming back with Make Them Suffer.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think you're playing in Whelan's, right? I think that's the venue. I'm not sure if you know the venue off the top of your head, but it's quite a random. Obviously, it's different for me because I'm from Dublin. But when I seen that it was in Whelan's, I was like, that's such a random venue. I feel like Make Them Suffer, and like for such a big lineup, it probably could have been a bigger venue, but it might just add to the atmosphere because, like I said, blown away when I seen you guys. Like, and that seemed to be the general. No, that seemed to be the general consensus in the venue. I was talking to a lot of people, and I'd known of you guys, but when I walked around and I was talking to people and people were talking to me, everyone was genuinely blown away by Resolve. So I think there'll be a lot of people there for obviously Make Them Suffer, but Resolve as well at the Make Them Suffer show when you guys come, and I'll definitely try and make my way over as well.
Yeah, hopefully, because last time was the first time we were playing Ireland in Dublin.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what's next in May.
Thank
you very much once again. Means a lot to me.
Man. No problem at all.
Thank you.
No, it's legit. You're such a crazy good vocalist that Older Days song that you did, that one take performance thing.
Oh, yeah.
People don't believe that's.
I wasn't ready for this amount of love at the beginning.
I wasn't. This is not planned. We're just chatting. It's like,
Yeah.
like people don't believe that is a real one take because the actual fullness of the voices in that is so insanely high quality. It's kind of wild. People are not taking those kind of risks, I think, in metal enough to be like, this is us, this is raw. I mean, there's some production on it, but like that is a one take performance from all of you. It's wild.
Yeah, gonna be honest, it was one of the easiest thing we ever did as a band.
Oh, really?
And yeah, definitely. I don't know why, but maybe because it was with good friends, because we are really close friends to Aaron and Zeli. So it was really easy. But we did 2 takes, and the only reason we didn't use the first one is because Robin, our bass player and producer as well, he just forgot to press record when we did the thing.
Oh.
So it's not a problem, obviously, just a funny story to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second one was the right one. And we did the song in the studio a few days before with the guys. So it was really fresh for them. Maybe that's why they nailed it that much. But it is a one take, and I have nothing else to say. Maybe the feeling is weird because the instrumental behind is the studio one, but all the vocals is just one take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I feel bad because I've never seen you guys.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just saying, I feel bad because I've never seen you guys live yet, but I have heard most of your music. And between me and the machine, what I liked is how progressive the music was, especially the title track, like 8 minutes long. Yeah. That was cool. And then, but your song "New Colors," that chorus just always stays in my head. When I think of like that chorus, just like I'm not going to sing it actually. I thought,
no, go on, Bert, go on.
Stop. I can't.
Yeah. I think I remember your video because I watched it when you reacted to the song, and that's definitely the kind of reaction we want when we write a song like this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, especially now because people want always more heavy stuff, and we try to keep our music the way we want it to be. So obviously there's heavy stuff, but we really like the mellow style and also the progressive stuff. So when I see you guys enjoying one of our songs, especially New Colors, I'm like, that's why we do this. So thank you.
No problem.
We love to see it as well, because like the world of metalcore can be quite samey. You know, everyone's sort of copying each other's in terms of production and songwriting, the rest. So I love the fact that on the Human album, there's a variety of song styles, like In Stone on there, and the end song as well. Like it was incredible.
Weird one.
Yeah, it's great though. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
Love to see it. Cool. Oh yeah, and the most recent song was Smile, right? That thing looked. I have to imagine when you were on site filming it in that environment, you must have thought to each other like, "This is going to look fucking sick. People are going to lose their minds." Where was that?
It's in south of France, in how do you say, salt mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really special. I was really happy to do a music video, but we are kind of used to it now, doing music videos. But for now, for once, we were outside in a really beautiful place. I wanted to go not only for the music video, but I wanted to see it for real.
Oh, right.
Especially the pink water and stuff. It's really special. So it was a really nice day, and obviously everything was so nice. We were pretty sure it was going to be really nice on the video as well. So yeah, you should go. Just go and see.
That's my next trip to the salt mines in the south of France. I'm going.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So yeah, it's south of France, but it's in Camargue, near a city called. Sorry, it's going to be French, but it's Aigues-Mortes.
Right. Okay.
I will send it to you if you want after.
I was only in the south of France this year. I would have went. I actually, genuinely, you're selling it to me. I would have been there if I had known in advance. If I had seen that video before, if it was out before, I would have gone.
I think it's on the right of France, South France.
Okay.
Right.
I was in France for Christmas. Actually, we went to Disneyland Paris because I've got kids, but also it's good fun. Do some Star Wars stuff.
You were in France for the Linkin Park show as well, right? Recently.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Too recent. You just go and live over there. Why don't you go on?
Mm-hmm. Me and France, man, we're like this, you know.
I wanted to bring up something Anthony, as well, just because we were kind of already on the topic, and this is one of the things I wanted to ask you. Again, not really like an interview thing or anything, but it was just more curiosity for me. The collab that we touched on with like 1056 and Paleface. I guess like that was probably one of the standout tracks on the album for me. I think that was a lot of people's, general consensus. People really enjoyed that track, especially with the video and the kind of rawness of the one take. Have you got any, I guess, desires, or have you got any like dream collaborations that you'd love to do? Because some bands don't really entertain the whole collaboration thing, but clearly you guys are up for doing it. So is there anything that you would love to do? Like any band in the scene, there's no limits on what you could do. It doesn't even have to be like metalcore or metal in general. But
I think I do. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure it will never happen because it's way too crazy now. Okay. there's one guy in France. He's called Woodkid. I don't know if you know the.
Oh,
the
Nathan
artist.
mentioned him when I chatted to him on the podcast. Yeah.
Obviously, it's unbelievable. And the thing is now, I think he's working for way too big people. So, and I think he's from our hometown at the beginning. He's from Lyon.
Okay.
But still, he's way too big. Now he's working with a famous artist in France called Mylène Farmer. I don't know if you know the name. Really big, like stadium stuff, crazy. Wow. But yeah, it's not metal at all. It's more, I don't even know. It's a mix between classic music, electronic music, pop music.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. But you should check it out because music videos, crazy. Production, crazy. Everything is crazy. And it would fit a lot with Resolve because it sounds a bit sci-fi, same way as we try to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be my dream, obviously.
Cool, man.
Maybe they're too big right now, but Resolve's on this trajectory, you know?
Yeah, never say never, man.
Catch up.
We are like this. Never been like this, but always like this.
But what you can't see is it's an exponential curve, and eventually it just does that. But the thing is, like you're doing great, man. Dude, you have 2 massive tours of Welsh Sleeps. You got Silent Planet. You got Make Them Suffer. That's fantastic stuff. What do you think has been happening in France? Not like today, but a few years ago. That means we've got bands like Resolve and Landmarks and Novelists and 1056 and like Parallax is doing some interesting stuff. Rev Noir. There's a whole breaking through of France. It hasn't really happened since Gojira, I want to say. What's been happening there?
What's been happening, you mean? You said?
How do you think is France is now breaking through with all these amazing bands?
Honestly, I don't really know because a few years ago it was really dead for the metal scene. There was a few bands. We had already Novelist, Gojira. We had Chunk No Captain Chunk as well. That kind of bands. There's a lot, but still the metalcore scene was dead. And we met Landmarks at the beginning of Landmarks as well. No one cared about them. No one cared about us. And we did what we had to do. COVID. We did a tour with Landmarks. And after that, they blew up. And kind of we followed them a bit.
You did that live video with them, right? That went really well in the COVID times. Didn't you do like they did a set, you did a set, it was on YouTube?
Yeah. We did it in our studio. It's the same place where we did New Colors, Human, a lot of music videos. So yeah, we did it in our place, but it was for them. And then I wrote a song with them, a song called Self-Made Blackhole.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, now we are close friends, and I think they are taking a lot of bands with them, and we are how can I say, pushing each other to the top.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially them, because now they are so big in France and in Europe, so big. We are playing a really big show in Paris next month with them, and it's already fucking big. And I'm pretty sure after this one, they're going to announce something bigger.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they are one of the reason the French metalcore scene is breaking through now. Yeah.
Have you
that's very possible.
Noticed any shift just from your own experiences since Gojira and the Olympics? Have you noticed anything just like, you know, has there been I don't know, I'm assuming a lot more media coverage. I'm wondering in years to come, will that like spark the next generation of big metal bands that come out of France? Have you noticed anything yourself? Like of people all of a sudden are talking to you about your band and stuff?
Not at all.
Really? Okay.
No.
I was expecting that to be
more
positive.
It is positive because I'm a big fan of Gojira. We all are big fans of Gojira in Resolve. So I'm really happy for them. They were big before. They are bigger now. Yeah. And it's really cool. But no, from a Resolve point of view, no.
Yeah. I guess I just meant more just in general, just in like the metal scene, I suppose. Have you noticed like just people even talking about it, but like nothing at all, no?
Yeah. We are talking about it a lot between bands, but that's it.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a few days ago, how do you say, documentary about the Olympics Day in France.
Yeah.
They didn't even mention the Gojira.
Oh,
They were talking about other artists, some good artists, some bad artists for me,
Yeah.
and they didn't mention Gojira. Or maybe 30 seconds at the beginning. Maybe I missed it, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's funny that you said the French metalcore scene was dead for a bit because, like, I'm trying to think. I remember like Betraying the Martyrs was pretty significant in Sumerian Records, but then I feel like now Landmarks, you guys, and a few other bands, 1056. It's it seems like France is getting put on the map a little bit. And you were talking about one thing about you're kind of like this and not really like this, like. And I was thinking like, oh, you just got to wait for that TikTok thing to go viral. But now TikTok, at least in the United States, could be banned. So I'm just wondering how you feel since you're a musician that, whether it's like making obviously music, but then content. How do you feel that the TikTok ban will impact the music industry?
To be honest, we are not socials guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm 30. We are the last generation born without internet. You know what I mean? When we were born, there was no internet.
Yeah.
So we tried our best to follow everything, and we tried to use TikTok, but it doesn't really fit our vision, or maybe we just don't know how to use it. We don't have the code. Except the 1056 pale face and resolve thing, nothing works for us on TikTok. So I don't really know. I can't really answer your question. I'm not going to pretend I know about it because I don't.
Yeah.
But I can see the power of TikTok, and I can see it benefits a lot of bands, especially the two biggest bands at the moment. I'm talking about Sleep Token and Battlements for now, because they blew up with their third album, and I think TikTok did a lot.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
Honestly, I just don't know what to do on TikTok. Tell me.
We don't either. I think Burb does. He does some good stuff. I don't know. I'm 38. I don't know what the fuck.
No, that's funny. Like, we're in our 30s too. Like, I grew up pre-internet. The only oh yeah, except for
Are you not 30?
Drew's a baby. But no, I only do TikTok because, like, you should be doing it as a content creator. But
yeah, sure.
I'm weirdly like hoping that it gets banned. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan of TikTok.
It's just supposed to be banned in the States, though, right? It doesn't. Does it affect? I know that's a massive audience that's going to be wiped out, but it still exists, right?
It affects the music industry pretty significantly, especially in the States too. But Canada, we kind of follow along whatever the States does. So if it gets banned in the US, it's probably going to get banned in Canada too. Yeah,
I don't even know if I like TikTok or if I hate it. I just know now we have to deal with it because it's part of the thing. But yeah, I really like Instagram because I think it's really easy and you can do a lot on Instagram. And still, I don't really like socials. we have to do it. But I just want to write music, play music. That's the main reason we are doing music at the beginning. And now,
of course,
it's really cliche because everyone is saying the same thing. But you have to be so many things when you want to be in a band, when you want to work in a band. There's way too many things to do, and I just want to focus on writing good songs and being good live. That would be the dream.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's not possible anymore. Sorry.
I was just saying, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park says the same thing. He just he does not like social media either. But then people were saying like, oh, you should use social media. Like, Mike is just not staying with the times. But look how big Linkin Park is.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah,
they don't need
their
to.
level.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think we don't have the same problems as Mike Shinoda because Linkin Park they can hire whoever they want to do all the social stuff. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, as we're not a new band, but compared to Linkin Park, we are, and we have to we have to deal with it. We have to get used to it. But it's fine. It's fine.
Like back in the day, it was you had to make posters and flyers for your shows and your bands. Today, it's like digital content stuff, and it can be more complicated. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But if you want your music to reach people, I gotta find some way to do it. And it's like, all right, figure it out. But
sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
Sorry. Now it's my time to show some love. Now we are lucky enough to have guys like you doing.
We'll do it for you.
Content about new bands, new music, and we can see the difference. We can really see a difference with all the reaction videos, all of this. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, man.
That's very cool to hear.
That was what I was going to add. That was pretty much where I was going. Was that to your point of focusing all your energy on the music? I think from someone who you just mentioned, like I guess someone who's reacting to your music and a fan of your music, if you like trying to focus too much energy on social media means that your music is going to suffer, then by default you're probably going to get less traction with like the people who are promoting it, like reaction videos, because maybe the music might take a bit of a hit, you know. So I think you're right, man. Just stick to your art, and I guess let us take care of it, you know, because if we're enjoying the music, then you know we're going to post content about it, because it works both ways, you know. It's like a mutual thing.
Case in point, Token is literally the band. They don't really post TikToks or social media content. They're so mysterious. They let other people on TikTok dance to it and everything, and then they went viral. Yeah,
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really think that's the right way.
Mm-hmm.
If people are connecting with what you do, they're gonna talk about it, and if they don't, then do something else.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think it's a dangerous path to go down where bands, because you can really tell it's very like transparent when bands are trying to go viral. They're like trying to be a big TikTok hit, you know, as opposed to just like an authentic, this song is so amazing that it warrants going viral, you know, because you can see when bands are trying to like do a moment in certain songs or just the way in which they're posting on TikTok, and it's kind of transparent, and it kind of waters down their products to me. That's just my experience from seeing certain bands go about it a certain way. So yeah, man, just stick to the art, I suppose.
I have nothing about bands doing it, and it's really cool when you see bands that know they know how to do it. But yeah, for us, I don't even know how to use my phone to do this, to spend this moment with you guys. So I'm not gonna talk to my phone and pretend I'm comfortable with it, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I like doing music videos. I'm comfortable on stage, but with a phone in my hand, it's completely different. And I don't want to pretend. So I'm not.
Well, it's working well enough. Your band is clearly being very well received.
Thank you.
It seems like it's going from strength to strength. Because the Between Me and the Sheen was a very well received album, and I think Human has done even more so, especially with that Older Days song that kind of blew up a lot. Yeah. That's kind of breaking through a bunch. So yeah, just keep going. It's going well. It's going very well. Now, are you plugged into other bands' releases and things? There's a big song that released today. I don't know if you've had time to hear it yet, but Architects have released a new song called Blackhole. Have you had a chance to hear that yet, Anthony?
I didn't, because I was pretty sure we were going to listen to it together tonight. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good.
We should have done that.
Joint reaction, Anthony. That would have been so sick, man.
So obvious now.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll check that out. I mean, I don't know. Well, the problem is, would it be a copyright claim on it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which we deal with enough of that on our own channels.
No worries. I will listen to it tomorrow, no matter what.
Yeah. But what have you thought of their recent releases? Right, they've had Curse and Whiplash and Seeing Red. Have you enjoyed those, or are you keeping?
I liked it. I think they, like a lot of people, they lost me a bit on the album before. I forgot the album even before. With
I always struggle to think of the name of it.
From those that wish to exist.
Yeah.
No, it was after that. Was like
Classic
the Broken
Symptoms, Broken Spirit, or something.
Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit.
Well,
Yeah.
wasn't a big fan of Classic Symptoms. Really liked the one before, and everything they did before, I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a good feeling about this one. So
yeah, it's interesting. I can't really figure it out. I know I love it because it is so tight. It's well polished. The choruses are great. The heaviness is there. The songwriting is punchy. It's entertaining, and it definitely feels like they're going back to, I guess, those that wish to exist. That sort of like catchy but heavy rock stuff, more aligned to what their fandom has enjoyed. But there's an emotional element of their earlier stuff which may never come back for some reason. So I don't really know. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens on the album. I think Drew, I saw some of your reaction video to this. I think you might have mentioned this. That like the singles are great. The singles I think off of the previous album, the Symptoms of a Broken Spirit, were also pretty great. I enjoyed those. And the album, they'll express different things in different songs. I'm curious to see what happens on those songs coming up soon.
I think the feeling you mentioned that will never come back is just coming from the fact people are used to get a bigger and bigger production now. So we are looking for a sound. We want to sound bigger and bigger all the time, but it has a cost, and so it kills a bit. Not a bit. It kills a lot of emotions. You want the vocals to be perfect. You want the drums to sound really big. Everything is perfect. So, songs are really good. And I feel the same for a lot of bands. And sometimes even for us, we don't have the budget, the same budget as architects to produce albums, obviously. But we were trying our best to sound as big as possible. And sometimes we're like, it kills the vibe. So, maybe in 10 years it will be even worse. You know?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You're right, and I haven't really thought of it that clearly before. But the more you produce something, the higher the quality could be. But the further you get away from the raw human input.
Yeah.
And so that
everything is clean
balance.
and big, but you're losing a lot. Yeah.
True. Yeah, and that's definitely. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
I was just saying, I wonder if like life goes in pendulums. So the more we go into this high quality production things, what people will start to crave is the raw stuff. And I'm noticing more and more like that in a live context. The more something sounds exactly like it is on the record, I'm more like, but where's the feeling that this is live and it's kind of dangerous, you know? So when I find those moments happening, I'm like, great, this is why we bought a ticket. We want to feel the humans behind it.
Funny that you said the pendulum too, because I totally see that people are craving more raw, authentic music. I see in the comments, and even just like a lot of albums that people are praising tend to be a little bit more less clean. And like my friend, he likes to say he used to listen to a lot of metalcore like back in the day, but he says all the new stuff sounds sterile. It's all sterile to me. Like, it kind of does. I hear what you're saying, but yeah, the Architect song, like, I thought it was cool. Like the old Architects was a little bit more, like Steve was saying, there's an emotional component to it that the new stuff I feel like lacks that same emotional feeling that I connected with, but the songs are still badass. They're just not that emotional. Like Drew, I actually watched your video of one of the albums, Lost Forever, Lost Together, and your reaction to Broken Cross. I'm like, yes, that song is so fucking sick. Like,
bro. Bro, yeah.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, no, it's funny that you bring up the point. Like, I know Anthony hasn't seen it yet, but Anthony, when you get a chance to see this video, speaking of production, I know we were talking about like specifically the music, but the music video is ridiculous. I'm not sure if you're familiar with all of I'm sure you've probably seen it in some capacity, but the recent like Falling in Reverse videos with like all of the crazy video production, basically they've used the same production team to do the video, so it's, you know, you can imagine it's absolutely ridiculous. It's insane. But like we were saying, it does kind of sterilize it to a certain point and make it feel quite robotic, because you're just absolutely inundated with like emotions and noises and effects on your screen that you just kind of almost freeze. It's like a fight or flight thing when you're watching it. You're just like, whoa, it's so much. But to go back to the emotional point, I guess, is this was actually the first of the 4 singles that I felt was a little bit more emotional. I think lyrically, they've kind of lost me. I think lyrically, I don't think they're ever going to be the same. I think that's the main thing for me with their older stuff. I think lyrically, they just felt, and again, they're a much younger band. They're probably a little bit more angsty and maybe had a little bit more on their shoulders and their chest or whatever. But this one, I think the guitar solo, not to spoil it too much for Anthony, but there's the guitar solo at the end. That kind of got me a little bit. It felt a little bit more soulful. And then the chorus as well. Not even just because it was a big, catchy, melodic chorus, but I just feel like the way it was sung by Sam was really, really good. Compared to some of the other ones that felt like kind of, again, I don't know their intentions when they're writing the other songs, but they felt a little bit more like trying to create this formulaic track that they know will do well, whereas this one felt a little bit more authentic. I don't know exactly how to pinpoint it, but it was a feeling, which is very hard to actually put into words, when it's more of a feeling thing,
But don't get me wrong, I wasn't talking about Architect specifically when I said about this feeling stuff. I really like Architect. It was just in general, but can't wait to watch it. I've seen the teaser on Instagram, and it was already fucking sick. So, you know what? At the end of this, I'm gonna watch it now. Yeah,
it's wild. It's good. No, you make a good point. We weren't, I think, talking specifically about Architects for that either. It's because you'll hear new bands with really high production. Yeah. And you're like, but you haven't necessarily spent the time to tour and write songs and gel and charisma that's unique. So it's high production, but of what? It's not interesting or new. And that's the struggle. Talking about it though, of bands that I think are getting this balance pretty right. Are you familiar with Unprocessed?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I mean, they released a song recently called Snowlover, and that's my favorite of the year thus far. I think that was fantastic. What are your thoughts on Unprocessed and what they're doing, Anthony?
I think it's really different. I love it. And I discovered, what's his name? Manuel something?
Yes, Manuel Fernandez Gardner.
On Instagram a few years ago.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he was in the band, or maybe it was just a new band or something like that.
I don't know the history.
Yeah, and I've seen them in our hometown in Lyon. They were touring with the Tesseract.
Nice.
It was sick. It was really
Drew
good.
saw that tour, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a great tour. Yeah, they came through Dublin as well. Sick.
Yeah, I think they're German, right?
Yes. German band, yeah, correct.
So we are pretty close to each other. Not, you know what I mean? Yeah. We live close to
neighbors.
Yeah.
Maybe soon. Who knows?
Yeah. No, they're absolutely excellent, and it's a good balance. Like the guitar work is obviously insane. It's technically very, very advanced. People might not necessarily know this about you. Like it looks maybe from the outside you are a singer and you have the odd time where you pick up a guitar, but you do a lot of the guitars within Resolve, right? Your guitar is your main instrument, right?
Yeah. Well, not anymore because now I'm more focused on the vocals, but I write a lot of songs for Resolve, at least the skeleton, and then we are writing together. But I wrote a lot of riffs and songs for Resolve.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm playing guitar a lot. There's a lot of guitars on my side.
Nice. Are you enjoying that freedom of being able to put the guitar aside for the live performance, or are you kind of missing it a bit? What is your preference? Or are you just thinking this is a better stage show if I do it this way?
You mean not playing guitar? Do I miss it? Not that much.
Okay.
Yeah, not on stage because I really like doing what I do on stage, and I think I'm more focused if I just have to care about the vocals and the entertainment. I really like it. And it's a good thing I can play guitar because we can add it to our shows, and it brings something fresh on stage. Now I know a lot of bands are doing it, and I'm pretty sad because we were doing it at the beginning, and now I see every vocalist is playing guitar. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Camille from Novelist pick up a guitar at one point during their set. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but
you're dead right. I remember seeing you at the Underworld in London, and the song "Death Awaits," which is one of my absolute favorites. You're doing like a Running Man, which you can't do with a guitar. So
I'm doing this. Yeah. So sometimes when there's enough space on stage, when I'm saying circle pit, if they do it, I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you actually pulled the. Did you pull the guitar out in the Dublin? You're probably doing it as a part of the whole thing, but I think I remember now that you brought it up. Was there not a moment in Dublin where you had the guitar?
Yeah.
For even a song?
A really short moment at the end of the song called Smile.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But when we are playing headline, I'm playing a few songs with the guitar.
In Stone, right?
In Stone or Between Me and the Machine, because I'm doing the solo thing and yeah.
That's a hell of a song. But that's quite a marathon of a song. Before that one live, you're thinking, okay, here we go. Like, strap in.
Yeah, it's a really long song, and it's harder for Nathan and I, but especially for Nathan, because there's a lot of double kicks, there's a long blast as well. So yeah. But I fucking love the song. It's sad we can't play the song on every tour because it's I think live it's 9 minutes, and on the Slips we had 30 minutes. We're not gonna play a 9-minute song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the cool thing with the headlining. Sometimes you can play whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can't wait to be back at the top.
Well,
Nice.
Nathan is an excellent drummer. He can absolutely handle the challenge of that one live. Now, I remember when you played the gig in Underworld, there was I think your guitarist Antonin's in-ears broke.
Yeah.
So he had no click. And I think in particular in that song, you stood next to him and you were tapping very subtly the click for him so you could kind of play along. How much do you enjoy being able to lock into a click because the backing tracks add some extra sounds? And is there a part of you that wishes you could just go raw, just drums, play with no click, and just feel what that might be in a different way?
I think depends on the song, because we are playing metal and we need to be as tight as possible. So no, I think I really like playing with a click. I have a lot of click in my ears. Which is, I think, a bit unusual for a vocalist, because we don't really need that much click because we have the drums and stuff. But no, I think I really like it because I really like when it's super tight.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not something I hate. But on other songs, more rock song or the song called In Stone, I would love to do it without click, but it's not possible. It's not possible.
It's a great insight. People might not realize it. Like, you're on stage and what you're hearing is there's instrumentation. You'll get some guitar, drums, rest, but you're also getting boop, 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 boop. Like that must be so crazy. People don't have any idea that you're managing to get feel and connect with an audience whilst getting that at the same time. It's quite
especially between songs. Between songs, we still have some stuff running. Like just like be careful. It's gonna start in 20 seconds. So if you have something to say it now. Yeah. But when it's a new set, it's a bit frustrating because you don't know the thing perfectly. But when you are used to it, I just don't think about it. It's here. My brain is understanding, but I'm not hearing it for real. Yeah.
That makes sense. Fair enough. Love these insights. Yeah. Now, there's a bunch of albums coming out this year that people can get excited about. I mean, Architects are going to have one. We talked about that a little bit. Are there any that you know of that you're getting excited about, folks? We've got like Spirit Box will have an album at some point. Killswitch Engage have an album coming out. Under Oath, Ginger, Idola, Memphis May Fire, Landmarks, which is shaping up to be pretty exciting. Bury Tomorrow, Kardashev, Arch Enemy, any others? Are there any that you're certain this is going to be a big album for them and you're stoked about? I mean, obviously you got friends in Landmarks, so you can say Landmarks. But anyone that you folks, including Burb and Drew, that you're particularly excited about? You're like, I think this one actually could be a contender for like album of the year if it goes as you hope.
Well, if it's based off rumors, Loathe and Sleep Token are like the two big albums. If they both drop albums, like they both be fine album of the year for me.
Interesting. Calling it already. If they just exist, then they're out.
I would find it very hard to believe that they would drop something of low quality.
Yeah.
Certainly, a band like Loathe, who's, I mean, I'm not really in the Loathe world, but I understand that it's been a long time since their last release.
Yeah, 5 years.
So you'd have to assume that would be because they're refining it until it's absolutely highest quality level they could possibly put out. That's the hope. Right? Be surprised if they do that and it's like, oh, it feels like they threw this together. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Stray from the Path are doing an album this year, right? I think they've got an album.
Good point.
It's one that's just kind of going under the radar that I've completely forgotten about. That just came to my mind there. But other than that, yeah, all the speculated albums are definitely going to be exciting, whether or not they happen or not. My real hopeful, like silly, foolish mind tells me that like Tool will like just drop a single and just start like making music again. But you know, another 10 years or so, maybe.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have anything that I can think of right now. I feel like there is a lot of albums dropping. The Architect single today actually has me a little excited about their album. Just see how it goes. Spirit Box, like you mentioned, that'll be fun. What about you, Anthony? Have you got any like bands that you're really excited for? Or it just doesn't even have to be if they're dropping an album, just bands you're listening to right now.
I really want to hear the Loath album. I heard stuff about it as well. I'm not gonna tell it because I'm not even sure it's real.
Sure.
But yeah, sure. But well, yeah, really excited about the Loath album. I can tell the Denmark's one is really good, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've listened to it a few times now, and it's really good.
Nice.
Lovely. I would be surprised if it wasn't. Like what they've put out that's on it thus far. The singles have been so good.
Yeah. I think the singles are good, but it's not the best.
Oh,
No.
exciting.
It's not the best.
That's exciting.
Really good songs, but there's bigger songs on the album for me.
That's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That has me curious as well of what you think of, because I know you're close with Zelly and Paleface Swiss. What did you think of their recent album? I was a big fan of that album when it dropped.
I was surprised because I was expecting Paleface stuff.
Yeah.
But it's Paleface, but with something new and also something really old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm really surprised. Not in a. I wasn't expecting something bad, obviously, but I wasn't expecting something that's fresh. So congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a significant level up from their last album. They like took everything that was so great about the last album, and just leveled up is the best way I can say it. I think they did a really good job with it.
And they tried the new stuff, which is a good thing. So, bravo.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about it, Burb? I know you checked it out.
Yeah, no, River of Sorrows and Love Burns, those songs are awesome. It's like the songs that get a little bit more emotional rather than just so angry. Those are the songs that I really like because, they didn't just write another Paleface Swiss record. They did something a little bit different, which is what I liked. But don't get me wrong, when they go heavy, like Hatred, that intro song, like they're an awesome band. Zelly's vocals and his delivery. It's like, he sounds like Corey Taylor, but it's also like he like raps. Like he's so fast with his delivery and his words. Crazy. Did you what did you think, Drew? I didn't know your thoughts exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was like I had heard Fear and Dagger years ago. It was probably one of the first albums that I'd gotten into in like the deathcore space. So I didn't really know if I liked deathcore, and then I started to listen to Paleface, and I thought that album was phenomenal. Like a really, really fun album. In hindsight, when I look back on it, that album is 1 hour and 9 minutes, which is outrageous for an album of like that level of heaviness. Whereas that was another point about the new album, which I thought was really, really well thought out and designed, that it was like 39 minutes or like 30 minutes or something like that. So it was like
quite different
for that style of music, which is so abrasive and so intense. I think that works so much better. And it was like by the end of it, especially with how they ended with like Rivers of Sorrow being so emotional, I was kind of longing for a little bit more, which I'd much prefer to be than be at the end of an album and be like, just purely defeated and not want anymore. So I think they absolutely nailed the the pacing of the album as well. So yeah, really, really solid album.
Totally. Did you hear
one of the things that's I've not heard it. I've honestly heard, I think, maybe 2 songs by Paleface Swiss ever. They had a song called The Orphan, and I was like, what the fuck is it? It was so goddamn heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm starting to like heavier stuff more and more over time, so I'm getting close to enjoying it. But it wasn't really until, honestly, older days, I went, okay, I'm interested. There's an expression and variety in here that isn't just how low can I go to release scream.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm interested to hear some more, but I've not heard that album as yet.
Yeah.
But I do have a thought about albums that keeps coming up in our comments, in our discourse, is that we might have different opinions on how many singles are the optimum numbers of singles on an album to release before you then go, here's the rest of the album. I personally actually would love to have every single song released one by one until the full album is complete. I don't mind that when the album's out, I've already heard the songs. I'm fine with that because then it feels like a greatest hits record. But some people don't want any singles. They want just give me an album. I want to enjoy the whole thing in one go. Anthony, what's your take on what's the best way you think to release music and find that balance in the modern age? Because you want singles, you want to be reminding people you exist. Here's a new thing, but then also have a body of work potentially. How do you see that balance?
I think it's the same as, not the same, kind of the same as Tik Tok. I still don't understand how it's working right now because we need to release so many singles. And I would say the best would be 3 singles, and that's it. And you drop the album, and there's a lot of new songs to hear. But truth is, depending on the level of your band, you can't. You need to release more singles and create more momentum around it. But yeah, I would say 3. I would love to release only 3 singles for a future album. I don't know. Yeah.
Why
but
is that
it's different
particular?
now. It's different.
Is that because once you have written the album, you want people to hear it as soon as possible? Or do you like the idea of connecting songs together as a journey that they link up to each other? What's the preference for lots of songs being listened to at the same time, perhaps?
For me, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I'm part of the people a bit pissed when I really wait for an album and a lot of singles have been released before. You want to press play and enjoy the thing and discover a lot of new music. But when you're like, okay, I know the first one, I know the second one. Oh, I don't know track 3. I'm gonna listen to track 3. Oh, I know the track 4.
Right.
You're like, I know the album, and there's an interlude, and you're like, fuck it.
That's not a song. I can relate to this in the world of movies. I don't watch trailers anymore because I don't want to be watching the movie and halfway through go, oh yeah, I saw this in the trailer. Then I'm out of the story. I'm lost.
Same.
Yeah, modern trailers take the piss now anyway. They just show you the whole fucking movie in like short form content. You're just like, what the fuck is the point, you know? Yeah. But I guess the argument to that, the very obvious argument to that is, because I've had people say this before to me as well, where it's like, just don't listen to the singles. I know it's very hard with like, you know, like we mentioned, TikTok and Instagram, you just open up and you've heard like the chorus straight away and you're like, oh, I guess I might as well listen to the full song. So I guess that is the pushback, where people can just say, well, look, if you really don't want to see the full album, just don't check out the singles in advance. Because I complain about it as well, but then I just go and listen to all the singles anyway, you know?
Yeah, please listen to the singles, because if you don't, we are fucked. You need to.
Don't get me wrong, the singles are great for us. We love the singles. I'm not complaining, you know.
We love content.
Yeah, it's content for us, man.
Yeah.
But the part of it for me as well, why I like the lots of singles, is I think it gives each song the right level of attention to really appreciate every second of that with full attention. Because by the time I get to the 8th song of an album I've not heard, I can't really fully actively listen to all of it in the same way that if I had like one song a week or something.
Yeah.
So like when Sleep Token did their Sundowning album, I adored the fact that it like you would wait like, oh, it's Friday, like we're gonna get a new song, and you just completely bury yourself in it. I love that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up is the Sundowning release. And then This Place Will Become Your Tomb. They kind of just did like the typical, I think like 3 songs with some music videos, actually showing them in the music videos too. And I think that's probably the album with the least amount of plays too. And then Take Me Back to Eden, they went back to Sundowning, but changed it a little bit and released like 2 songs on like a Tuesday and Wednesday or something. So, and look what happened there.
But I don't think those had more listens or less listens that album because of the single music video release pattern. I just think those songs, even now, didn't quite connect in the same way with people as the first and third album.
That's true, but I also think just the way that they were releasing the songs was able to, connect with a bunch of people for them to talk about it. Like, again, Sundowning releasing all the songs, there was a lot of hype. Take Me Back to Eden, same thing. I just did not see that hype with This Place Will Become Your Tomb. I didn't see it as much.
Yeah.
I think it ultimately comes down to how good the non-singles end up being. Because if the non-singles end up being weak, then people are going to feel that like fatigue of the album more, because they're like, oh well, I've already heard all the good songs and then whatever's left. But if you have Take Me Back to Eden, for example, they release all the singles, or however, like they released half the album as singles, right? Am I correct in saying that? A good percentage of the album anyway. And then the non-singles were absolute bangers as well. So people aren't going to complain about it as much. You're not going to see the noise for it. But if the non-singles were really weak and then you get the album, it will feel like a letdown. But when that album dropped, then some of the non-singles were better than the singles. So it doesn't really have as much impact.
Anthony, on your end, how do you select singles? What's that process like? How do you, because it's hard to guess what people will connect with because you're the ones writing it. You can't really be objective about what the masses might enjoy. How do you decide, all right, this one deserves its own space?
I think sometimes you have a song and you know already it's going to be a single, but most of the time, especially now, I forgot how we did with the first album, to be honest. I think we just knew and we did what we wanted. But I know for the second one, we listen to the people around us as well. And not only the team, not only the professionals, but also families and friends. And it was pretty much what we wanted. So it's good.
Great.
Pretty happy. New Colors, it wasn't supposed to be a single because it's too long for a single, but we wanted to release the song as a single. So we forced it a bit. And it was a good call. So
yeah, great call.
I don't really know. I think there's no good way and no wrong way. You just need to do it for yourself as a band. And I don't know. It's it's different for every band. I don't know. I mean, when you are a really big band and you're more into a business plan and stuff, you probably need to listen to the other people because they know what is gonna sell the most. But for us, we just don't care for now. We just want to show what we like the most and what we feel is gonna connect with the people, to give them the will to listen to the whole thing. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
On that point, it probably makes sense to, maybe it's easier not to think of, it would be really hard to have an album of work and go, right, choose one song. No, not multiple, but one song that will represent this and tell me what they can enjoy. That would be really hard. But I guess if you know you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 same singles, you could go, well, we can show them a bit of this and we can show them a bit of this as well. And then they can see a bit of it's like a spectrum of possibilities, maybe.
Yeah.
What about just releasing the entire album like Mirar did at the beginning of this year with Ascension? Drew,
I still haven't heard it. Do you know Mirar, Anthony?
I think so, yeah. It's an old band.
I've never heard them.
No?
No. It's a new band. It's all instrumental. It's just what Fall is and that Viljarta, Buster Home kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just like the guitar work. It's called Mirar. I think it's French. Mirar, right?
I think they're from Norway. Are they Norwegian? Am I wrong?
They're from Norway, but isn't that a French word, Mirar? I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah, Mirar. But it's all instrumental, but the guitar work.
Okay, sorry. I heard Mirar, like, Mirar.
Yeah, like mirror,
So Mirar, I don't know.
Mirar.
Yeah.
No,
I've also not
idea.
heard them before, so I have no context really. But I've heard it's wild. Drew doesn't think I like it, which is interesting.
There's no think, Steve.
He would hate it. Yeah, he would.
It's more of like a musical exercise, I would say,
opposed
to like something that you sit down
those.
and. To be fair, there's moments in it that are really enjoyable.
Yeah.
From a musical standpoint, but there's a lot of. Yeah.
I can appreciate technical excellence and experimentation, and art, and all of that stuff, but I need the technical abilities to carry a song. That's really important.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on your definition of a song, really. But you know, Anthony, are you familiar with Thal music? Are you interested in? You are okay, right?
Yeah, sure.
Do you like Viljarta, Humanity's Last Breath, alt? You're into it, yeah? Okay. Because you never really know.
I just spent 1 month and a half with Buster.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, because
okay.
he's playing drums for Throne.
Okay.
I forgot that.
Yeah, Throne was on the Sleeps tour as well.
Oh, that's sick. How were they? How were they to tour with? They seem pretty chill.
Yeah, they are super nice. We share the bus together, so
nice.
we spent the whole day together. Yeah, 24 hours almost. And yeah, super nice. They are from Norway, so easy.
Yeah,
great
from
live.
Sweden.
Yes. A wonderful live band as well. They're pro.
Yeah,
they've got energy. They get up, they smash it, they walk off. It's like, you're welcome.
Yeah, and for such a relatively like they kind of I don't know when they formed. Was it the start of last year or just 2 years ago?
Longer than that.
Could have been maybe 2 years ago. Or are you talking about?
Like we're talking about Throne, right?
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, with Throne, like they supported Bring Me in Brazil, in South America, right? Like after 2 years, which is just
it's wild
insanity. Like in the space of a year or 2 years is absolutely absurd. I think they were on like with Spirit Box and Polaris maybe or something like that. There was a mix of
the Plot in You as well.
The Plot in You as well.
They had to leave the Sleep Tour 2 days before the end, I guess, to go to Mexico.
Understandable reason to leave.
You'd do that. You would do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember now that Anthony, you had to fill in on vocals for While She Sleeps. Because the singer had to go during the tour, right? How was that? Was that? Did you have a few songs you needed to do? How did you suddenly prepare for that?
They asked super early during the tour.
Okay,
because Lowe's had to go to the UK for personal stuff. So I just had to fill in for one show. I did 3 songs. And I had some help for other songs from Alex from Malevolence, Con from Malevolence as well, and the other songs was sang by Matt from Sleeps. But yeah, it was super stressful because I'm a big fan.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and obviously English is not my mother tongue. So it was harder for me to remember everything. And every song I chose, I was sure I knew it, but I didn't. When you dig into the song, you're like, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the right lyrics. So you have to relearn everything.
Oh, wow.
But it was really fun. It was really fun. And I think I had a really good connection with Slips, which means a lot to me because, like I said, I'm a big fan. Mm-hmm. And then on the rest of the tour, they asked me to do the Holy Sykes featuring every night. So
sick!
It was good.
That's so good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That's a big honor. No, it's a great part.
Yeah,
great part. And those are big shoes to fill. Ollie is a pretty decent singer. People have heard of Ollie Sykes. Yeah. Wow, man. I would have loved to have seen all of that live. Like, that would have been absolutely mind-blowing. Really cool, man. Listen, before we perhaps go, because I know we've got things we need to do in our lives, and it's very late in France. So we really appreciate what you're doing here for us, Anthony.
No worries.
Burb, you've been discovering some mad things on what the most popular bands in rock, was it, on Spotify? Were there some surprises? I've not seen your video. I know you did one. But is this most popular songs of all time, was it?
Yeah, I was just looking at some lists on Spotify. Well, like one was a video. It was like the 150 most popular rock and metal songs of all time, but for the year 2024, those numbers. It was like nothing shocking. Third place was Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Second place, Arctic Monkeys, I Want to Be Yours. But okay, what do you think is the most popular, the most streamed song on Spotify in 2024 that's metal and rock?
I'm surprised that Arctic Monkeys with that song was number 2 above.
There was a lot of Arctic Monkeys in the entire video.
Wow. Number 1.
It's got to be something that's like accessible by the mainstream that can be played in like clubs and bars and shit. Surely.
Yeah, because if Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody is in the rock category for this, then that really opens it up. Like, it's got to be some kind of pop rock, country rock thing.
Any guesses?
I don't.
I just
Nickelback Rockstar.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't think there was too much Nickelback in this video, but number one.
No, that's a travesty.
Yeah, number one is Coldplay, Yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, they've really expanded that one.
Yeah,
They've really stretched the goalpost there.
Yeah, so it wasn't the most like shocking list, but there's a different list that I found that was just the here I have it here. It's the 25 most popular metal bands in 2024. So not rock, metal. So these were like according to Spotify and how many monthly listeners they were able to get.
Mm-hmm.
So number 26 not on the list. Resolve, right? Who was 25?
Well, this is number 26 technically because they mentioned it. People were saying, "Oh, that's not metal." Sleep Token. Sleep Token's at 26 technically.
I'm surprised it's not higher.
Yeah, 25 is Motionless in White. Then you have Tool, Judas Priest, Megadeth. Like you have the big bands, right? Day to Remember as at 20 with 4.9 million. And then Bad Omens, 19 with 5.5. You keep going. Five Finger Death Punch, Pantera. You get the legendary bands. 14 was Falling Reverse for 8.1 million monthly listeners. Then Alice in Chains, Avenged Sevenfold, Korn. Now we're at the top 10. So Deftones, 10. Rammstein, Slipknot. Bring Me the Horizon at 7 with 14.4 million. 6, Black Sabbath.
Wow.
Who do you think is in the top 5?
Sorry, I'm shocked that Black Sabbath is above, like, Bring Me, for example, because we're talking about Spotify, right?
Yep.
I know that they're a legendary band, but I wouldn't have thought their general demographic of listeners are using, like, Spotify.
I guess they are.
Okay.
They're keeping up with the times, man.
Cool. Great. Good for them.
Any guesses in the top 5?
Did you say the System of a Down?
No.
No. They are. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I seen your video, so I'm just going to stay out of this one.
Okay. They're third place with 23.6 million. So 5 is Limp Bizkit, 4 Disturbed, 3 System of a Down. Okay, who do you think is the top 2?
Metallica.
Okay.
I think I think they're not top 1. They are top 2.
Okay.
Oh, look, this balloon!
that was correct.
Does that mean he's right? He's right.
Balloons.
Oh my god!
Is it this?
Yeah. If you do that, you might get like fireworks or something.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wait, did you just do that?
There's some Apple.
I didn't know that
thing.
that was a thing.
It's an Apple thing.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's on the
That's
Fiat.
cool. I love. What a moment.
That was very good timing. So Metallica is number 2 with 27.2 million. So who's number 1 now?
Number 1 metal band listened to last year. Jesus.
maybe Linkin Park.
No clue, because
get the balloons. Get the balloons again.
Get the balloons. I know.
We need the balloons.
What?
It's not working now, of course, but we want them. When we want them, it doesn't work.
The craziest part, though, is Metallica's at 27.2 million monthly listeners. Linkin Park, 56 million. Literally more than double.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I guess they were the biggest, most talked about band. But the thing is, that was towards the end of the year that they released that album. So that's impressive. That's always the interesting thing about Spotify Wrapped, is that the bands that do really well are the ones who released an album early in the year, because people have more time to get more listens and they rank up. Does that enter in your release schedule, Anthony? You're like, listen, if we release on the 1st of January, we'll be everyone's Spotify Wrapped #1.
No, and we even for this album of the year thing, the first album was released end of November, so we are fucked. And Human was released mid-September, so same. We don't have enough time for it. Maybe we're gonna change the way we do things on the next one.
I think so.
That's it.
But I'm sure it's hard to schedule things, because once you have it, you just want people to hear it as soon as possible. I imagine. I assume release dates is more about what makes sense for the time. Oh, I've lost myself there. Am I pixelated to hell?
Yeah, you just went for a second. Yeah, you're good though. You're good.
Yeah, I imagine release dates are decided more about like planning of label details and videos and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. It's more like that. But when an album is released, it's often it's been done for almost a year.
Gosh.
Yeah. With our first album, I think it was even more, maybe a year and a half. But there was COVID, so we had to postpone everything. But yeah.
No wonder you're like, listen, 3 singles, and then let's release the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with how quickly everything's moving these days, with how quickly like tastes are changing and sounds are evolving with like everything that's going on. You must be like, okay, is our album still going to be like, current in a year's time? You have to almost think that way. What's going to be popular at that time instead of what's popular now,
Yeah. I do wonder about the how much albums will even be a thing in the future because of the Tik Tok of it all. And like, I think albums probably came about because it's expensive to record. So you'd have a studio, you're like, well, we'll do 10 songs at once because we have a week. But now we don't have the same constraints. So you could just record from home here and there and release things as and when you want. And if you're just marketing things digitally, it's much cheaper. I think there's a good chance in the distant future that albums might be less of a thing.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. Record sales are a big deal though for bands, right? Maybe Anthony has more insight on that.
People like vinyls.
I think albums are dead for a while now, but there's still people that care about it, and especially bands, because it's completely different. Releasing when you release an album, there's a whole story, a whole thing. How can I say? Yeah, whole story, whole imagery around it. So it's better, and that's what we want to do. But the way the industry is working right now, and it's more about single and the momentum. But yeah, it depends on artists. If we still want to produce albums, we will. By we, I'm not saying Resolve. I mean all the artists thing. But yeah, we will still have all the pop stars releasing only singles just to make money, or But to me,
I wonder,
the album thing is done for a while now.
Yeah, I wonder if it's more of a rock thing, that like an album has become a sort of sacred thing in the rock world, but isn't so much. Maybe it is in country, I don't know, but I think in other genres, or maybe because I'm not as tuned in with other genres, I only notice the singles.
I think hip hop too. Kendrick Lamar dropped an album that people were talking about a lot too. Like, I think albums are still important for the music fans.
Yeah. I think it's really important for the fans and for the bands. But But yeah, the industry has changed, and now it's a lot about singles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, you have been releasing excellent singles, as I've said, and we've all enjoyed. So thank you for that. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to your upcoming tour with Make Them Suffer. I'm sure that's going to go amazingly well. And we'll keep our ears out for new music from Resolve in future. Thank you so much for your time, Anthony. We really
thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was very nice to chat with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Same for me.
Legend.
We'll add some links in the description so you can check out Resolve socials and keep up to date, because they love socials, with their new releases as and when those come out. And make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Enjoy this podcast. Thank you for listening. See you again very soon.